Hey lovelies, no, it's not Saturday. I know, it's just a surprise video for you today. So I created this month's Patreon print already and I just really liked how it came out. So I decided to make a mini video about it while I talk about the team. Yes, because you know I like to talk. So pick up the tea. So this month's theme is Black Cinderella Team, aka Brandy as Cinderella, our first black princess ever. Okay guys, especially Disney, make it Disney. Our first Cinderella black princess from Disney. Disney. And of course, Disney does what they usually do when they have people of color film. They put a big budget on the production, but they don't do promotions, they don't do flyers, they don't like boost up the show, you know, because people of color don't sell. Even though we make the most money for you. That's a Raven gossip. So yeah, so even though the film, they put a lot of money into this movie, they did not promote it as much, and a lot of people don't even know the movie exists. But it does, and I thank you for it. So anyhow, this version of Cinderella is with our lovely Brandy. I don't know her last name, which is really sad. So she's a one name. She's so renowned. You just need one name. Even though for most of my life I just knew her as Moesha because of a TV show. So we have Brandy as Cinderella. And this movie didn't seem weird to me as a kid because I grew up in Trinidad and Tobago. We're a melting pot. We have Black, Indian, native Trinbagonians, which is like the Arabs and the Caribs and you know those kind of people who were here first before Christopher Columbus, and we have Japanese, Chinese, some white people around. I don't know. I barely see them, but they're there, and we just have like so much people. We have Jamaicans, Grenadians. My grandmother's a Grenadian. We just a melting pot. We just have everybody. So it was not weird for me to have a black queen and a white king, and they get a Filipino son. Totally normal. To have a white stepmother, have a black daughter and a white daughter, and then, you know, it just makes sense to me. Still makes sense to me to this day because that's normal. That's a family here in Trinidad. So it's really weird to hear in America that that's not common. But it's getting more common, but people still get so much frack for it. I'm like, what? So it wasn't weird to me. I was just like, oh, and the colors, all the colors, it was so pretty. And the music. Oh my god, the music. I watched this movie so much over and over, you know, for research, but also because I loved it. And the story with me with this movie, I think I mentioned it in one of my vlogs, because, you know, if I didn't talk about it enough in the vlogs, is that I watched it one August vacation, summer vacation, straight. They were showing it every day, different times of the day, and it was just August vacation, so that means you're home from school, so you actually have time to sit down and watch the movies. And this was before you could have program stuff and save stuff and just watch it over, so you have to be on the TV on the time to get to watch the movie. And we would just be randomly switching around, and then boop, it wasn't that hard. We only had 3 channels. And it would just show up and I'll watch a movie. I learned almost all the songs. At least I know most of the lyrics from the songs. And I was like, I would try that whenever they play a movie once, like in one August vacation, the next year they will actually play it again. But they didn't, and they never played that movie again. And back then the internet isn't how it was today, so I couldn't just look it up. And even when I did look it up, there was like Black Cinderella, Brandy as Cinderella, a Brandy Cinderella. It was just Moesha as Cinderella, and I'll never see it. It's like it didn't exist. Especially when they go in the movie shops, and I'll be like, hey, do you have the Black Cinderella or the Brandy as Cinderella? And they'll look at me like, what are you talking about? That doesn't exist. I wonder why Disney didn't push it even though they spent millions of dollars on it and still went over budget. This movie, I know I'm just going all over the place. Guys, if you just want to mute this video and just watch the video, the watch mute the audio and just watch the video, totally understand. I'm just rambling. This is my rambling video. So, so we have Brandy. We know the story of Cinderella. We have Brandy. She's abused mentally and physically in a way. She's not getting hit, but she's forced to work over and over. And as a kid, I was always like, why she don't just leave, like Cinderella in general. But then when you think about when Cinderella was made or created, or the timeline where Cinderella is, it's not proper for young ladies of okay households, I can't remember the other name, of suitable households to leave by themselves. They need a chaperone or a male companion, preferably their father or their husband. And if they do leave, it's to most likely be a prostitute on the side of the road, because it is called the oldest profession for a reason. So it wasn't just that easy to leave at that time period. You had to leave with the protection of a man. So if Cinderella had to leave, she has to get married, because she doesn't have any brothers for protection. Her father's dead, so she needed a man's protection. Yeah. So when I got older and understand that's why a big reason why Cinderella didn't leave, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. Because the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. You know? Yeah. So Cinderella is abused mentally and physically by doing manual labor all the time. And then the princess having a ball happens, and her stepsisters get to go, but not her. She, as I realized, never wanted to go to get the hand of the prince. It's like so much people stew the story over time that you keep thinking that Cinderella wanted to escape by going to this ball and getting the prince's attention. But no, that was never Cinderella's intention. Cinderella just wanted to go to the ball just to like have a good day for once, because her whole life, as soon as she wakes up, she has to wait on hands and foot for her stepmother and stepsisters, and then she has to clean, and she has to follow them wrong, and then she had to take all this mental abuse, and that's her everyday life. Cinderella going to this ball was just like a mental break. Was like, let me just have this one good thing. Let me just go to the ball to have fun, wear a pretty dress that was her mother's, put on these cute shoes, and just look cute for once in her life instead of being covered in cinders, hence Cinderella, and just go to the ball, dance, eat some nice food for once, and just enjoy herself. And maybe the memory of that day could carry her on, or make, just the memory of that day could just make her feel good. Like anytime she's in this mental prison where she constantly have to, you know, work hands on feet with her hands on feet. I don't know. Constantly working every day, she could just escape into her mind and just think, oh, just remember the day, and she'll just do her chores while she's thinking about this happy memory. Because one happy memory could carry you for a long time. Let me tell you that, okay, honey. Yeah, it could carry you for a long time. So that was Cinderella's whole thing. But even with Brandy, I don't really think, did she say she wanted to go? I can't remember. I have to watch the movie again. That's a good preference. But they kept out the part where, she wore her mom's dress. She never mentioned her mom in this version of Cinderella. It's just her dad. Oh well. She never tried to dress up. She never tried to go. She just helped ting them up, because she never asked to go. She was so busy helping her stepsisters and stepmother get ready for the ball, falling in love with love. Sorry, I just love this movie so much that I think it came to her attention that she wanted to go was when they left in the carriage. That's why she started crying. She was like, In my own little corner, in my own little chair, I can be whatever I want to be. You know? It's just like she wanted to go, and she was so busy helping them, it just never occurred to her that she actually wanted to go until that moment, in this movie at least. And then the best fairy godmother of ever came. Impossible for a plain yellow pumpkin to become a golden carrot. Yes. Love it. I did not barely talk about the prince because this movie is called Cinderella. Okay, it's not about Prince of Cinderella. Okay, okay, hunty. And I know I'm watching way too much TikTok. I know. Okay, guys, I know. And I enjoyed it. And on the prince side, his whole life, he doesn't know if people actually like him because of him or they like him because he's a prince. You know, that whole rich people, nobody, which is a serious problem and causes trust issues with people who has money or status or power. That is a real issue. We shouldn't just tell him because, oh, you have money to comfort you. Money is cold, baby. Okay, money is cold. And he has loving parents because Whoopi, oh my gosh, and the dynamic between Whoopi and I don't know who do I do this, but I know his face, but I don't know his name. Between Whoopi and her husband in the show, there was just so beautiful. They were just so on point. They were just the chemistry between them, like, for as parents in this movie, I'm not saying like in real life they go, you know, get a couple. No, I'm like, the chemistry in this movie is just so on point. I totally forgot about it because as a kid I was more into Brandy as Cinderella. So as an adult now I was like, whoa, they were woke. The people even say that still. They were like on point. I just love them as parents because Whoopi thinks the best for her son is to be married. So she's thinking for the best for her son. And the father just wants his son to be happy. So both of them want him to be happy, and both of them have different ideas of what will make him happy. And I just love that dynamic. So he wants to get married, but he doesn't want to get just married to any person. He wants to fall in love like his parents did. Is that too much to ask, Whoopi? Okay. Also, side note, I learned that all the jewelry that was on Whoopi were all real jewelry people. Okay, 90,000, was it 90,000, 90 million, or $60 million for that necklace she wore at Cinderella and the princess wedding. And Whoopi said she's gonna play a queen. She gotta feel like a queen. Okay, she is the one who was like, get me some real jewelry. And she even got herself some real jewels. I'm like, yes, if I ever have to play a queen, guess what? Give me some real jewels. Okay, let me be the queen that I am. And I'm just, this movie was just so good. So good. So good. I totally forgot about 10 minutes ago I saw you. I was just like, and I just want to cry because that movie is just so good. Anybody else watch this movie and did it hold up? Did it hold up to your expectation from when you were a kid to now? And I just want to watch this movie. I just want to watch this movie over again. It's just so good. My only criticism was, it's no longer criticism, was that Brandy was too meek in this. And I was like, why didn't she get like in a little, because she was always so spoken and like, I don't know, fairy godmother. Even when she told her stepsisters she doesn't find the hat suit any of them, it was so soft and composed. And that's because my whole life we've been bamboozled with this trope of the strong black woman. I am a strong black woman, but I also cry. I also feel pain. I also feel embarrassed. And when somebody pokes me, yeah, I could like come back from it, but it did still hurt when you poke me. It's just this trope, and of course, I'm watching so much Cinderella, so much TikTok, that we're trying to dispel this whole thing about the strong black woman. It's totally demoralizing to women of color, black people, because it's basically like we can do whatever we want to you, and you'll be fine because you're strong. I thought you were a strong black woman. So, guys, rethink this whole evaluation of strong black women, because I realize it affects my art. Because every time I draw, I never want to give my girls a neutral or meek expression, because they need to have attitude, they need to be hard, they need to be strong. So, guys, just need to think about that was a criticism for me of the movie, but it isn't. It was perfectly portrayed. It was beautiful. It was wonderful because I love it. Okay, I'm gonna stop bamboozling you with my singing. But guys, this movie was just so great. It was just so wonderful. It was amazing. And I don't like to overhype stuff. I'm giving Jackie Jacket. It was great. 10 out of 10, would recommend. And I need to rethink this whole strong black woman and why all my characters need to be strong with attitude. As we learned from Pearl, you could be strong in your own way. Alright, guys. Pearl from Steven Universe. I don't know if you got that. But guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me this Wednesday. And I'll see you in Saturday's video. Yeah, you're getting 2 videos this week. How cool is that? I'll see you in Saturday's video, lovelies. Bye!
Time is moving fast, but I can't go. You keep trying to heal, but it don't show. No one really knows how to carry on.